The A.P. Giannini Foundation offers a postdoctoral fellowship and career development award program. Each year, the foundation hosts a colloquium where presenters offer important life and career insights for fellows pursuing careers in research and medicine.
My first principle is that wonderful Yogi Berra aphorism, when you come to a fork in the road, take it. Science these days is much more collaborative than it was back then, but in those days, we were all rulers of our kingdoms. Our kingdoms were separated from neighboring kingdoms by invisible walls, but we were pretty much, our goal was to make our own stamp. And you collaborated out of convenience, not out of desire or necessity or because it was particularly fun. And here was science being done, you had to collaborate with people who did things that were completely different, because you cannot make a drug in a vacuum. You need, if you're a biologist, you need chemists. If you're a chemist, you need a biologist. You need a toxicologist. You need a doc. You need entomologists. You need people who are incredibly good at the science they do. And you need to be incredibly committed to making sure the science that you do works for them. I had never really experienced that. It was enough that in my lab, my grad students could do their thing. We could publish papers. Sometimes we collaborate and get reagents from another lab, or we'd give them reagents. But this real fundamental interdependence where your science really doesn't count unless your science can be used by some other kind of scientist and they do their bit. And that the energy that comes from that and the insight that comes from that and the sheer hard work that demands was just something I had not seen before. And I got addicted to that. I got addicted to the power of it. I got addicted to the fact that this very diverse group of people, teams of 30, 35, sometimes teams of 5, had a common goal. And the common goal wasn't the specific aims of the NIH grant. The common goal was treat HIV, develop drugs. Let's see if we can cure hepatitis C. Let's see if we can really do something for people who die on the table during an angiogram and a stent placement because the anticoagulants are too long-lived. So the goalposts were clear, the enemy, if you will, was clear, and the collaborative environment around doing science was incredibly inspiring. The science you learn as an academic scientist, those are really good skills and essential skills for doing science, but they're insufficient for actually trying to do science in an applied atmosphere. So this thing that I talked about the interdependence of our science and the dependence on business people who are going to help you further that science means that your communication skills have to be outstanding. You cannot learn how to communicate enough. You can't learn how to communicate your mission clearly enough. It can always be better. You have to learn how to communicate to people who work for you how they're doing. You've got to tell people they're not good enough and they have to go. You have to tell people that project's not going to cut it. Thanks everybody for working hard, but it's not making enough progress or whatever. You have to be able to address difficult interpersonal moments and difficult moments in strategic choices. Because if you don't make those decisions, not making a decision is a decision. Take some time to explore the intersection of science and business, because that intersection will cause you to think about your science wherever you're doing it in a different way. It will cause you to think more about the impact of your science. You will think more about the complexity. You will think more about the utility of the solution that you're offering. For a long time when I joined it, my notion of industry was that the science wasn't as hard and that the standards of rigor were not as great as it is in academia. That turned out to be absolutely wrong in spades, and for those of you that have had some experience in companies, you know that, because this isn't a matter of getting the cover of Nature and piecing together 3 experiments into a publication. It's a matter of making sure that the science is so robust that you can give a new medicine to someone who's sick, and they're not going to the best of your ability to control it, they're not going to keel over. I encourage you not to turn up your nose at teaching. Teaching is a lot of guises. You can get up and lecture. Like I was saying, 3 days a week, you can train grad students and undergrads in your lab and postdocs. But this issue of actually teaching somebody how to think, teaching somebody relevant facts, teaching people how to differentiate between facts and belief, and facts and just rot, is a really important skill. It will stand you well no matter what you do, I think. But it's also, in a very selfish way, an incredibly gratifying thing to do.
If you'd like to learn more about the A.P. Giannini Foundation's Postdoctoral Research Fellowship and Career Development Award Program, please visit our website, apgianninifoundation.org.